Michelle asked about one of the odder events in the life of Jesus. He's going in the morning towards Jerusalem. He's going to spend the day in the city during Passover. And he's hungry. And up ahead was a fig tree. Now, it wasn't yet the season for ripe figs, but there would have been these green bulbs, bitter but edible. The tree had nothing. So Jesus cursed it, and it withered. Why? Poor fig tree. Well, Michelle, Mark is a literary genius, and he's using a device that I guess you could call a literary sandwich, where you have the meat of the message surrounded by two pieces of bread. So you got an event, and then the real core of the story, and then a follow-up event to kind of pack it all in together. The fig tree is actually the bread on either side. Jesus cursed the fig tree. He went into Jerusalem. The next day, on the way back to Jerusalem, they noticed, oh, that fig tree he cursed is actually dead. So the fig tree is a metaphor that's flavored by the meat in between. Now, Jesus really did curse the fig tree, but why? Well, what's in between the bread? What Jesus did that day in Jerusalem was, we call it the cleansing of the temple. I like to call it the threatening of the temple. Because he stood on the very spot that the prophet Jeremiah had stood 700 years earlier and warned, if you don't repent, God is going to destroy the temple. He did back then, and he's ready to do it again. The fig tree is simply a metaphor. It really happened, but it's a metaphor of what is about to happen to the temple if they don't start producing fruit for God. And Jesus is trying to use the fig tree as a warning because he would rather lose a fig tree than a nation of people who refuse to repent. It sounds like a silly story, but it is deadly serious if you recognize what it surrounds and what it represents. A nation that was not producing fruit for God. Perhaps this is a time in our own nation that we should listen to the lesson of the fig tree. If you found this video helpful, could you do me a favor? Just hit the like button, or even better, share it with a friend.